G'day guys and welcome back to a quick episode. Over the last week or so I haven't been too active and unfortunately I haven't done an update for a while. But all things are good. I haven't gone cold to the channel, so don't worry about that. I'm pretty well up to date with most things with the G60s now. As you would have saw in the last video of the red tub ute, there's not a great deal left to do on that. I still have to do the spring bushes and get the floor repaired in that tub, but other than that, it's a quick wiring once over and she should see some rego soon, so all good. I'm pretty well up to date. All the other G60s are going quite well. I just got my short wheelbase G60 re-registered yesterday. So yeah, that's another year for that old girl. She's on the road, so all things are going well. I want to hear what you guys want to see from this channel. I'm open to suggestions. I'm all ears. So if you want to see something particular, please let me know and I'll do my best to fulfill that for you guys. I'm hoping over the next few months, when the weather starts to get a bit cooler, that I'll be able to go out and do a bit more four-wheel driving and do a bit of exploring around the area. Just getting out in the old go, and I'll hope to film a bit of that stuff for you guys, and hopefully it's a bit more enjoyable than some of the stuff you might have already seen. But anyway, all going well. This episode here is not going to be a long episode. It's more just a filling episode, but I just want to talk about a few good memories that I had with the old G60s as well. So a few years ago, we went on a family holiday to New Zealand. Now, when most people think family holidays, they think we're going to do all the tourist things, going around, seeing this site, go to that site, do this, do that. But that is sort of what we did do. But I did make sure that I did allow a day to catch up with a G60 enthusiast and owner from South Canterbury on the South Island of New Zealand, Shane. I met Shane through the social platforms once again. I'm a pretty sociable sort of fella, and I talk to most people. So I met him through that and got talking to him for about 6 months, and had a few phone calls with him, and he seemed like a really good guy. So anyway, I mentioned to him that we're coming over to New Zealand at some stage soon, and I'd love to catch up. He said, "Well, when you're over here, mate, it's on me. I'll take you out for the day, and I'll show you around my local backyard." And that was really, really awesome, because I've always wanted to see New Zealand since I was probably a teenager. I always thought, oh, it looks like an awesome country. I'd love to go over there and do it. And what better way to get out and see a bit of it in an old G60? So that ticked all the boxes. But so we headed over to New Zealand. We flew in and we landed at the Christchurch airport. And it wasn't even half an hour later. Not even pulling your leg here, that another G60 fellow I met through Facebook as well, Chris from Christchurch, he come to the airport to meet me. It was like the patrol paparazzi were there. And yeah, Chris has a few G60s himself. He's doing up a late 70s ute. He had a mid-wheelbase G60 that he's only just sold recently, and he has a old farm hack that he runs around in, which is a 1968 that his dad put a Nissan ED33 diesel engine into many years ago. But anyway, Chris met us at the airport. I didn't even know he was trying to get me, because I didn't know how to work out the SIM card and stuff. So anyway, once I sort that out, I got a message from him. He's like, "Oh, you landed yet, mate?" I said, "Yeah, we're at the airport." He said, "I'll be there in a minute." So he turned up and put a name to a face, and it was awesome to meet another enthusiast. And he said, "Oh, well, what's your plans?" I said, "Oh, we're going to go out, do this in the next couple of days." He said, "Well, why? When you head out that way, call into my farm and check out my collection." So I called into his farm and checked out his collection. He had a couple of good old D60s there. The old farm truck, she's a bit rough, but you know, old G60, she's no show pony. They're a bit rough around the edges, but you guarantee that she's going to get the job done. Anyway, had a look there, had a bit of a chat, spent a bit of time with Chris, having a look around his collection, having a chin wag, and that was really enjoyable. A couple of days later, we headed down to South Canterbury a bit further, and I caught up with Shane. So I went around to Shane's house. Mum and Dad dropped me off there, and it didn't look real promising. Shane seemed like a great bloke on the phone. But when we got there, all he had in the back of the ute was a shovel and a chainsaw, and I thought, oh, that's either for recoveries or I'm going for a one-way trip to somewhere not ideal. Anyway, it all turned out well, and I'm still here, so he was a good guy. Anyway, that day started. Shane filled the old G60 up at the local servo and drove out the river and the Uriah River and went for a bit of a run up along there, and awesome little drive. And then I went out to the local reserve, and that's where he threw me behind the wheel. He said, "Oh well, you're up. Your turn to have a drive with the old girl." So I drove for a bit, and then I drove out to the T-Moana Valley. It's called. It's a pine and forestry plantation area, and some of the hills are like that. And that's where Shane used to go out, bit of four driving the old G60. So he took me out there, and some very, very steep hills out there and some really good tracks. So he put the old G60 through her paces, and the old girl ate her up. And a few of the tracks, you're looking straight up at the blue sky. You can't see nothing beside you. So it was awesome. Anyway, got up there and top of the ridge and had smoke on. You could look around, you could see the ice up on the peaks and the snow and all that stuff, and it was awesome. There wasn't a lot of snow down where we were, but you could see it up on the peaks, and it was just absolutely breathtaking scenery up there. A lot of people say New Zealand's like Australia. It's not like Australia. Australia has some beautiful countryside, but New Zealand, it was beautiful all over, I reckon. There's not a lot of G60s over there either, which is there was back in the day, but due to their harsher environment in Australia, they get a lot more rain and stuff like that. So the old G60s rotted out a lot quicker than ours did too. Whether or not it had something to do with, I know the G60s we have in Australia weren't really prepped properly, like painted between the panels, but here's a bit of history for you. The New Zealand G60s were actually assembled in New Zealand, where our ones come out to Australia. The New Zealand ones were assembled in New Zealand. They had an assembly plant in Dunedin in the South Island. There was also one up in Auckland in the North Island. So anyway, there's not a lot of G60s over there anymore. And Shane has this beautiful 1977 yellow G60 Ute. It's still original as down to the still has all the toolkit, all that, the owner's manual. It's a beautiful thing, and the engine bay in that thing is like brand new. He's the second owner from new. He bought it off his one of his good mates, whose grandfather had that car from brand new. So Shane bought that. When he got it, it needed a bit of a tune-up, and it used a shitload more fuel than a G60 usually uses, and they do use the fuel, as most of you can relate to. But anyway, once he gave it a tune-up, that G60 has not let him down. And it's funny enough, as over the last couple of years, I actually found him a few more G60s floating around New Zealand for parts. Now, I don't know how that works because I live here in Australia, but like I said, I've got connections everywhere, and people find me, and G60s find me. So when they're no good to me, I passed the leads on the Shane. He bought them. One was a red 1974 Ute that he picked up for $500, and he towed that 200-300 k's home behind the yellow G60. And that's a parts car. I found him another one sitting in a paddock at Mount Somers that someone contacted me about. No good to me. Can't fit that one in post. So he bought that, and I think it was only $200 or $300 as well. She's pretty rough around the edge, that old girl. It's a 79 Ute. It's a late one, blue one. But yeah, we've built a really good friendship from this, and he does struggle to get a few parts in New Zealand. I mean, parts can be hard to get here in Australia too, as you know. So I help him out with parts. I send them over for him, and I help a mate keep his G60 on the road, which is what it's all about. So anyway, back to the trip. We done an awesome run up through this the T-Moana Valley and up through the forestry plantations, and we decided we'll head out to a place called the Opua Dam. Shane said there's a good track out there, so we go out to the dam and do a few photos, have a look at the bit of a sightseeing tour out there, and he goes, there's a four-drive track that runs around the perimeter. We'll give that a go. So we hit this four-drive track, and it was just mud holes and ruts the whole way. So we went about halfway around, and you come across a bit of a landslide and a few trees down over this track, so there was only one option, unfortunately, to turn back. And I've never seen a G60 turn around like this. Shane had nowhere to go. There's a hill here, there's a dam there. He's just literally put her in gear and just fanged it, and it screwed itself around on the hill and back out the track. And that was an awesome day. And it would have been a bit of a pricey day for him too, because the fuel in fuel in New Zealand was about $1.82 when we were there. That was for 91. So it was real real awesome experience, and I really appreciate Shane taking me out for the day and just ticking off a big dream of mine, as well as meeting him, which is what it's all about. As you know, I live and breathe the old G60s, and anything G60 related, I can spend days on end talking about and just enjoying. But that's just what it's all about. So anyway, we finish up with Shane, and unfortunately I didn't get any video footage other than probably 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but I did get a few photos. So I'm going to stitch them together for a slideshow for you guys, and I hope you enjoy them. I hope it's not too boring for you, but anyway, I'm sure you will appreciate some of the photos and seeing his old G60 as well. For the rest of our holiday in New Zealand, didn't really see any other G60s around. I had these eyes peeled everywhere. Didn't see anything, but we come back into Christchurch. We done a lap down through we're at Christchurch, down south through Shane's, down to Invercargill. We come back up through central Otago, up through and back into Christchurch. Then I thought, I remember seeing an AG60 for sale at a Coyote Christchurch, so we shoot around there and had a look at that. I had a great chat to the fellas at the classic car dealership, and it was really enjoyable. And they were rapt to know that I was from Australia and I'd come there to have a look at the old G60. And they were surprised at just how cheap our market is over here, because, I mean, there's not a lot left in New Zealand, so they are worth a lot more over there. But they were just surprised at just how undervalued and appreciated they were over here when I started telling them about my collection and showing them a few photos. So anyway, we continued our holiday over there. We went up to the top of the South Island, and we're just doing a day drive around Motueka, and we went down this road, and sure as shit, look over in the paddock, and here's this old blue G60 ute sitting there all lonely. So I took a few photos of that. I couldn't find a house around to go in and knock and just have a chat and just see if I could have a look at the old girl. But it's a real tourist attraction, isn't it? You know, like doing that sort of shit on a holiday. But anyway, it's what I enjoy, and it just a few memorable things for the trip. So anyway, I'll throw a photo of that at the end too. So that G60's gone too now, so I don't know where it's gone. But anyway, I'm hoping to get back to New Zealand, and I will film a bit more G60 content with Shane, I reckon, at some stage when I do get over there. So stay tuned for that down the track. I don't know how far away it'll be. It's probably going to be a while away, but I will make that happen. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this slideshow, guys, and I'll catch you on another video soon. Cheers, guys.